Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about stop chasing people and why chasing people doesn't work. So it's someone that you've got a crush on, perhaps someone that you're dating, don't chase them. You don't need to chase someone, right? So I'm going to explain basically why this sort of thing doesn't work. And one of the things, the main thing, is that if you chase too much, you start to appear less attractive. And obviously, if you like this person, if you want to date this person, then obviously you want to appear attractive. You want to appear more attractive, right? You want to appear attractive to them, right? So if you're being needy and insecure and you're chasing too much, then obviously you're doing the exact opposite of what you want, and that is appearing attractive to them, right? If you want them to date you, you want to appear as attractive as possible. So you don't want to be chasing that much, right? And what I mean by chasing is when you're kind of sending too many messages and you're not giving them time and space to get back to you, right? If someone likes you, they will reply eventually. You don't have to keep on sending messages. You don't have to keep on, trying to, make things work out with them. Give them space. Like if they want to talk to you, they will. So if you send them a message saying, hey, how are you? Just wait for them to respond. Even if it takes them a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you don't send any more messages after that first initial, hey, how are you? Because if they like you, if they want to be around you, they will reply eventually at some point. It may be tomorrow, it may be next week, it could be in an hour, it could be in 5 minutes. You just don't know. But the point is that you don't want to be chasing them because it seems it makes you appear unattractive. Even if your heart is in the right place, it's better to just be cool, lay off, send them, messages very, very sparingly, make the, let there be a lot of time between messages and things like that. Be cool, basically, right? So when is chasing okay? So chasing can be okay. Obviously, this is a very rare sort of circumstance, and I don't want you to run away with this. But chasing is only sometimes okay if the other person is chasing as much, right? If it's mutual chasing, basically. So if, you're sending a lot of messages to them, they're sending a lot of messages back. If you're meeting up a lot and they're meeting up a lot with you, if you're doing that, and if it's mutual, and I really mean mutual, then it's a bit better, right? It's sort of okay. But again, you don't want to go overboard with that. Because it might be the case that they're having, strong feelings for you at that moment, but then they may simmer down and they may not want as much attention, right? So you got to sort of see it like that, just see it when they're sending you a lot of messages, then yeah, maybe it's okay for you to send a lot of messages. But if they back off, then you have to back off too. You can't keep the momentum going with how things were when things were going really super fast and all that kind of thing. Right, so it's a bit of a subtle game, it's a bit of a subtle art, but matching and mirroring is probably the best thing for you to do in that kind of circumstance. But I'll get more into matching and mirroring in a moment. So another thing that makes chasing seem unattractive and why it doesn't work is because it shows a lack of emotional self-control. Like if you have this feeling inside of you, like this urge, like, oh my god, I can't wait any longer, I have to message her, or something like that. If you have that sort of urge, then you have to start developing a more emotional self-control. Because if you are displaying a lack of self-control to someone, again, it's going to appear unattractive, right? You got to be able to fill your time up basically with other things if you feel like you just cannot help yourself but message them all the time, and you just can't help yourself. You may be like in the morning, you're like, yeah, I'm not going to message them at all today, and then by 2 o'clock you've already messaged them. That is lack of self-control. If you vow to yourself that you're not going to message them for a few days, then do that. Stick to that. And if you don't have the emotional self-control, start practicing it. It may be the case you may need to practice it in different ways, discipline in different ways. So, because usually if you discipline yourself in one area, it's much easier to discipline yourself in other areas. So, give yourself a goal of like, okay, I'm going to work out for every day this week. That's something that can help develop your self-discipline. And hopefully, with any luck, it will actually start bleeding into other areas of your life, basically. So essentially, if you start getting self-disciplined in one area of your life, it's going to be easier for you to be disciplined in other areas, including when it comes to, you chasing someone too much and vowing that you're not going to do it again, basically, and having that emotional self-control over that situation. So let's get into matching and mirroring, and I think this is probably like the best thing that you can do to help yourself to begin with, especially if you have had a problem with this. So just grab your phone, right, and just look at the correspondence that you two have been having. Who sends the most messages? Who initiates the conversation most of the time? Who sends the longer messages, right? And if it's you, then you need to back off and start doing more of what they're doing. So if they only message you or reply to you once every 2 days, then you do the same, right? Or it might be the case that you want to do less. So I advise to do matching and mirroring, where you match and mirror what they do, or to do it a little bit less than what they're doing, right? So if they message you every 2 days, you message them every 3 days, things like that. It's just just taking a step back and giving that person space. And hopefully, if they like you, that will result in good things and you'll be able to start meeting up with them. But what you got to realize though is that you better be actually dating and meeting up with them, because if you're not actually meeting up with them, then it's just some sort of like online friendship, right? You've got to be meeting up physically, right? Even if it's a long distance thing, you can still have like a FaceTime sort of thing, which is probably the best thing that you can do when it comes to like meeting up with them when they're really far away. So having like a FaceTime or a WhatsApp video with them, that's going to be the best thing for you to do if you're having a long distance thing. But if they only live like a few miles away, even if it's like 2 hours, make the effort to meet up with them, because that would be a big sign if they like you. You won't have to chase them if they're meeting up with you, because if they're meeting up with you and they're there and they're not flaking on you and they don't cancel plans last minute, that means that they like you. So you don't need to chase someone that likes you, because they like you. You don't need to chase them, right? So, but you got to be meeting up with them. You got to be dating them, because if you're not dating them and you're not meeting up, then it's just a friendship, right? And, if you're the one watching this video, then perhaps you should be the one to start facilitating that. Ask them, when are you free to hang out? Ask them that. Like, when are you available to hang out? What's your schedule like? Asking them things like that. And then making it happen, right? Arrange a time, arrange a place, right? Get out there and start seeing them in person and get off your phone, right? Because you can't have a connection, proper human connection with someone over the phone. We've only had this kind of like technology, like email, texting, for, 20, 25 years maybe? We've only had it for a short amount of time, but as human beings, we've been around on the planet for hundreds of thousands of years, maybe even more, right? I don't think anyone has like a proper date on it, right, of when we started being, when we were first hanging about, basically. Right, as human beings, we've always got to know each other face to face in person, right? Obviously, if, like I said, with the long distance thing, the next best thing is that you do like a FaceTime or a Skype or whatever it may be with them, so you can have like some sort of like interaction where you can look at their face and notice their body language and things like that. But you need to start meeting up with them face to face, because otherwise it's just fantasy. It's not real. It's not real if it's on your phone. Right? So start meeting up with them if you haven't done so already. But you don't need to chase them, right? Go back to matching and mirroring. And just look at who's doing more. If you're doing the most, then you need to cut back a lot and start doing less if you want them to start feeling more attracted to you. Because no doubt, if you're watching a video like this one, you've probably been in situations where you've done too much chasing and they haven't, responded well to it. Because most people don't respond well to being chased too much, because it just screams neediness and it's just unattractive. Even if they were attracted to you to begin with, if you started chasing them too much, they probably got turned off and they started being less attracted to you. So start matching and mirroring, and maybe do even a little bit less, and start planning to meet up with these people that you're talking to, these people that you're dating, right? Actually meet up with them physically, right? And again, if you can't, if it's a long distance thing, if you're like in different countries, then you do FaceTime or something like that. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.